Japan is often celebrated for its remarkable achievements in science, technology, and culture. Yet, lurking in the shadows is its adult film industry and the red light business, notorious despite their strong development and legal protections. However, the world of adult entertainment is not immune to scandal and tragedy. Today, we delve into two heart-wrenching cases as presented by my channel, both involving young women from the red light district. Though these tragedies unfolded 22 years apart, their outcomes were equally devastating. What led to such sorrow? Our exploration begins with a chilling event from the autumn night of October 12, 2002. At 8:55 p.m., a Honda Odyssey erupted into flames on a desolate road along the Nakagawa River in the suburbs of Iwata City, Shizuoka Prefecture, Japan. Witnesses to the blaze immediately alerted the authorities. The local fire brigade arrived swiftly, ready to tackle what they assumed was merely a car fire. Initial impressions suggested a simple accident, or perhaps a reckless act by local youths. But when the flames were extinguished, the firefighters stumbled upon a gruesome discovery that would change everything. A charred body lay within the back seat. The police were summoned to the scene without delay. Their preliminary investigation revealed that the victim was male. In a haunting detail, the man's right hand was found tightly gripping a knife, while his face had been burned beyond recognition. As the officers surveyed the area, they found another chilling sight: a woman's body, face down on the grass, about 10 meters from the vehicle. The woman bore numerous sharp knife wounds, along with burns from the fire. Following an autopsy, forensic experts confirmed that the wounds on her body matched the knife clutched in the man's hand. The identities of the two victims were soon established. The female victim was identified as Nozomi Momoi, a 24-year-old adult film actress. The male victim was none other than Hiroki Sakai, Nozomi's boyfriend. The burned car, a Honda Odyssey, was registered to Hiroki. Investigators found that the fire was deliberately ignited, having been caused by kerosene. The incident took place in a remote area, devoid of nearby homes, raising numerous questions regarding the peculiar way the car was parked. Despite the road's narrowness, the vehicles were lined up orderly, allowing ample space for others to pass. The police found no evidence of collision or sudden braking at the scene. Given the collected evidence, authorities theorized that Hiroki, for reasons still unclear, had driven Nozomi to the Nakagawa River, where he brutally murdered her before taking his own life by setting the car ablaze. In a desperate act to conclude his life, Hiroki locked the car door from the inside. Furthermore, investigators found no signs of a struggle or resistance within the vehicle, leading them to speculate about the events that transpired that fateful night. The motive for the crime appeared to be rooted in Nozomi Momoi's career as an adult film actress. This line of work may have driven her boyfriend, Hiroki Sakai, into a spiral of emotional turmoil, ultimately leading to unresolved conflicts within him. However, the autopsy results painted a more intricate picture. As the investigation unfolded, a series of suspicious elements emerged, challenging the narrative of a straightforward tragedy. Notably, the amount of smoke detected in both Nozomi and Hiroki's lungs was alarmingly low. Typically, victims perishing in a fire inhale substantial quantities of smoke. The autopsy revealed that the smoke inhaled by both victims was equivalent to that of smoking just a single cigarette. If one considers Nozomi, who was found outside the vehicle, this finding could be explicable. However, this raised an unsettling possibility. Nozomi may have been murdered by Hiroki before he set the car ablaze. Yet this theory failed to account for the minimal smoke present in Hiroki's lungs. Compounding the mystery, the forensic examination faced limitations that prevented the determination of Hiroki's exact cause of death. Nevertheless, the presence of cracks and dents on his skull suggested he had been assaulted prior to his demise. At the crime scene, police found no indicators of a struggle between Hiroki and Nozomi, nor any weapon stained with blood. Adding to the perplexity, investigators found no gasoline, the presumed accelerant for the fire, nor evidence of a spilled gasoline can at the scene. The police theorized that the perpetrator might have opted for kerosene instead, a common heating fuel in Japanese households, including Hiroki's. Upon searching Hiroki's residence, authorities discovered 4 spare kerosene cans. Surprisingly, none of these had been opened. In a further twist, Hiroki was left-handed, yet he was found gripping a knife in his right hand. According to his mother, the knife was not a typical household item. Moreover, Hiroki's car keys were missing. The keys should have been located within the vehicle or on the victims themselves, yet extensive searches of the crime scene yielded no results. Strikingly, both Nozomi and Hiroki were discovered without shoes. Their shoes were later found at Hiroki's home, neatly arranged, suggesting they had not hurriedly left. Were they compelled to vacate the premises while unconscious? Each new piece of evidence left investigators increasingly bewildered. Delving deeper, authorities uncovered a poignant photograph on Hiroki's computer, the last image of him and Nozomi captured on the very afternoon of the incident. In this snapshot, the couple exuded warmth and happiness. There were no signs of discord, contradicting the police's initial suspicions regarding their relationship. Further scrutinizing the call history on both Hiroki and Nozomi's phones, detectives noted that the couple had reached out to friends that afternoon. After interviewing these friends, investigators found nothing amiss. Both Nozomi and Hiroki conversed with their acquaintances in a relaxed manner, showing no hints of distress. Notably, just an hour before the tragic event, they appeared entirely composed. Hiroki Sakai had eagerly invited his friends to witness his performance at an upcoming music festival, where he showcased his talent as a singer in a band. Yet, at this moment, the evidence starkly contradicted the police's initial judgment regarding the tragic events that were to unfold. It became increasingly evident that Hiroki had not meticulously planned this outcome in advance. His actions were anything but spontaneous. If Hiroki and Nozomi Momoi had not led themselves to this devastating end, then who truly bore the responsibility for the fates that befell them? With such suspicions swirling, the investigation took a darker turn. The police delved into the backgrounds and relationship of Nozomi and Hiroki. Nozomi Momoi was born on October 12, 1978, in Ina City, Nakano Prefecture. During her school years, her academic performance remained unremarkable. After completing high school, she made the pivotal decision to move to Tokyo in 1999 to study at a college specializing in nutrition. Upon graduation, she secured a position in a hospital kitchen as a nutrition coordinator. However, the rigors of the job proved overwhelming, leading her to resign after just 1 year. In search of a stable livelihood, Nozomi found herself traversing various locales in pursuit of work. Destiny brought her to the bustling Shinjuku station, where she encountered a man who presented himself as an actor recruiter. This individual candidly revealed his intentions of recruiting adult film actors. Initially, Nozomi firmly declined his proposition, yet the man's relentless persuasion began to chip away at her resolve. He painted a captivating picture of her future should she agree to join. Young and impressionable, Nozomi succumbed to his enticing words and ultimately decided to sign with the entertainment company. Her journey into this new world began with promotional photo shoots. The company molded her image into that of a charming and innocent star. By April 2001, Nozomi made her official debut with her first film, which unexpectedly generated significant buzz within the industry. This success marked a crucial turning point in her life, bringing her not only visibility, but also her first taste of income. From that moment forward, Nozomi threw herself wholeheartedly into her burgeoning career. By the time of her untimely death in October 2002, she had appeared in over 200 films. The rapid pace of her releases garnered admiration from colleagues, catapulting her reputation and leading to a remarkable increase in her earnings. Her income surged to an impressive 1 million yen, approximately $8,330 per film. Recognizing her burgeoning potential, the company not only capitalized on her film career but also established a girl group named Mix, with Nozomi as the lead member, debuting in May 2002. The Mix Group ventured beyond films, embracing diverse entertainment avenues such as television game shows, singing, and album releases. Hiroki, a year older than Nozomi, shared her hometown and even attended the same high school. However, their paths did not cross during those formative years. After high school, Hiroki pursued further education at a vocational school in Nagoya. That the truth began to reveal itself. Remarkably, Hiroki and Nozomi had even attended the same high school, yet at that time their paths had not crossed. After graduating, Hiroki pursued further education at a vocational school in Nagoya. 2 years later, Hiroki Sakai returned to his hometown of Ina, finding employment at an electrical equipment factory. In May 2001, fate intervened at a gathering of friends, where Hiroki encountered Nozomi Momoi through a mutual classmate. From that very first meeting, an undeniable attraction sparked between them. At the end of the gathering, Hiroki and Nozomi exchanged phone numbers, solidifying their connection. Soon after, they started dating. In July 2001, Hiroki proposed to Nozomi, albeit with a desire to keep their relationship light and friendly. But Hiroki had a secret of his own. He was still in a relationship with another girlfriend and had plans to marry her after 3 years of dating. Nozomi remained blissfully unaware of this hidden truth. In August 2001, with the support of friends, Hiroki left Ina for Matsumoto City. Using work as a convenient excuse, Hiroki soon ended his relationship with his girlfriend, just as he officially began dating Nozomi. Despite the physical distance imposed by their jobs, Nozomi and Hiroki nurtured a strong bond. Nozomi frequently took the bus from Tokyo to Matsumoto in Nakano Prefecture, eager to visit her lover right after finishing work. Yet, she harbored a startling secret. She had a boyfriend in Tokyo, and they were living together, a truth that even Hiroki was oblivious to. All of Nozomi's friends were aware of this double life, yet, bound by a promise to keep her secret, none dared to tell Hiroki. Consumed by anxiety, Nozomi often worried that her Tokyo boyfriend would uncover her betrayal. In her desperation, she regularly enlisted her friends to help maintain the facade. The tangled web of relationships between the three individuals, juxtaposed with the stab wounds found on Nozomi's body, led police to suspect that Hiroki might have unearthed the grim truth. Such a revelation could have ignited a fierce argument, potentially resulting in Hiroki, in a fit of rage, forcing Nozomi into a vehicle, taking her to a remote location, and unleashing his fury. Evidence collected from the scene, including the murder weapon and a chilling suicide note, convinced the local police that they were dealing with a murder-suicide case. However, Hiroki's parents vehemently rejected this conclusion. They believed their son was incapable of such an irrational act. Convinced that Hiroki had also been a victim of foul play, they implored the police for a thorough investigation. On November 14, 2002, Hiroki's parents sent a letter to the authorities, seeking clarity on the many suspicious elements surrounding the case. Unfortunately, it wasn't until a week after the letter was received, as the investigation unfolded, the police officially announced that the case remained open. On November 25th of the same year, Hiroki's parents took action by filing an administrative complaint with the court, demanding the establishment of a dedicated investigation team. In a desperate plea for justice, Hiroki Sakai's friends rallied together, urging the community to sign a petition that amassed over 10,000 signatures. They sought to pressure the authorities into reopening the investigation into the tragic death of Nozomi Momoi, a well-known figure in the adult film industry. The case quickly captured the media's attention, creating a whirlwind of public outcry. Under immense pressure, the police had no choice but to resume their investigation. Surprisingly, as they delved deeper, they uncovered a series of unusual details. At Hiroki Sakai's residence, detectives stumbled upon an IOU revealing a staggering debt of 800,000 yen, roughly 6,670 USD. The loan was dated April 2000, with a term set for just 5 months. The purpose behind this substantial loan was to manage business capital. However, the lender was a complete stranger to Hiroki's family and friends. As the investigation progressed, the police found themselves at a dead end, unable to trace any information related to this mysterious individual. Intriguingly, the handwriting on the promissory note bore a striking resemblance to that of Hiroki's neighbor. This neighbor, once a close drinking companion of Hiroki, became an immediate point of interest. Though the handwriting matched, the name on the note did not correlate with the neighbor's identity. The police, suspecting foul play, summoned the neighbor to the station for questioning. Despite the relentless pressure, he steadfastly denied any connection to the promissory note. In a bid to exonerate himself, he claimed his friendship with Hiroki was merely a pretext to recruit him into an illegal multi-level marketing scheme. He insisted he had a solid alibi for the day of the incident, stating he was out drinking with friends. Yet, amid this testimony, he unveiled a disturbing revelation about Hiroki. Though Hiroki projected an image of a kind businessman, he was, in fact, living a double life. Behind the facade, Hiroki was involved in the illicit trade of used cars, and his business ventures had left him deeply in debt. Just before his untimely demise, he owed a Brazilian man of Japanese descent a staggering 1,500,000 yen, approximately 12,500 USD. This shocking testimony prompted the police to reevaluate the implications of the promissory note. They speculated that if the neighbor had indeed lent Hiroki money, yet fraudulently used another name on the document, it would render the IOU legally void. In that case, the 800,000 yen debt might have nothing to do with the neighbor at all. Following the interrogation, the neighbor was cleared as a suspect. Yet the police's analysis led them to a chilling new hypothesis. Could Hiroki have been murdered by a creditor? Was it possible that his failure to repay the loan fueled the creditor's rage, culminating in Hiroki's death? And with Nozomi Momoi present during these events, she too found herself entangled in the web of suspicion. However, as the police scrutinized Hiroki's connections, the elusive creditor remained a ghost, their identity obscured in shadows. Upon further investigation, it became evident that the 800,000 yen debt bore no relation to the neighbor. After thorough interrogation, the neighbor was cleared of suspicion. This prompted the police to reconsider their theories, leading to a chilling new hypothesis. Had Hiroki fallen victim to a vengeful creditor? Was it possible that Hiroki's inability to repay a debt had incited his creditor's wrath, leading to his murder? Nozomi, present during the incident, found herself embroiled in the aftermath. Yet, as police delved into Hiroki's connections, they could not uncover the elusive creditor, raising more questions than answers. In a critical turn of events, this hypothesis was swiftly dismissed. However, a surprising clue surfaced from an employee at a local bar who had knowledge of Hiroki's activities. The employee recounted that just days before the tragic incident, Hiroki had visited the bar alone. There he encountered an unusual patron, someone who was aware of Hiroki's relationship with the renowned actress Nozomi Momoi. This obsessive fan relentlessly pursued Hiroki, insisting on an introduction, driven by an unhealthy fixation on Nozomi. The situation escalated when the fan made inappropriate remarks, openly expressing his desire to spend the night with Hiroki's girlfriend, Nozomi. Enraged by the remarks and fueled by alcohol, Hiroki confronted the man, leading to a physical altercation before he stormed out. In a chilling confession, the suspect later admitted to persistently harassing and threatening Hiroki, even making menacing calls, declaring he would kill him if he did not allow him to spend the night with Nozomi. This revelation sent shockwaves through the investigation. The police speculated that the man might have attacked both Nozomi and Hiroki, driven by a reckless and selfish obsession. Yet the suspect vehemently denied the allegations, claiming his actions stemmed from nothing more than a misguided adoration for Nozomi. He insisted he had no desire to harm anyone and was incapable of murder. However, as the investigation unfolded, it became evident that he possessed a solid alibi. At this juncture, the police found themselves at a standstill, the case seemingly slipping into obscurity. Yet, soon after, an intriguing new lead emerged. Investigators uncovered that Nozomi had participated in over 200 films in her first year within the adult film industry. This staggering number astonished many, despite external reports suggesting she earned a hefty 1 million yen per film. In truth, the sum was considerably lower, primarily because many of her roles required her to share the screen with other actresses. The compensation Nozomi received paled in comparison to the grueling effort she invested in her work. Eventually, Nozomi joined a girl group, but her grueling schedule left her little time to recuperate. The overwhelming demands of her career pushed her to her limits. Although she had a boyfriend in Tokyo, it was Hiroki who held her heart. Nozomi yearned to abandon her adult film career, aspiring to transition into theater and eventually marry Hiroki. However, once entangled in the adult film industry, many found it easy to enter yet nearly impossible to exit. Moreover, at that time, Nozomi was considered a valuable asset to her company. Letting her go would be an unthinkable loss. Speculation arose that perhaps Nozomi's desire to leave was thwarted, prompting Hiroki to take a stand for his girlfriend. Or perhaps a deeper conflict between the couple and the company had ultimately led to her tragic fate. Despite Hiroki's family presenting this theory to the authorities, the police dismissed it once more, allowing the case to gradually fade into the shadows. In the end, the Japanese police upheld their original conclusion regarding Hiroki Sakai's tragic fate. His parents were left to grapple with this verdict, drowning in helplessness and grief. A year later, they stumbled upon a shocking revelation. Hiroki had purchased a life insurance policy. Before her son's untimely death, Hiroki's mother approached the insurance company to claim compensation. However, her hopes were dashed when she was informed of a clause that excluded payouts if the insured had committed suicide. Unyielding in their pursuit of justice, Hiroki's parents took legal action against the insurance company, filing a lawsuit in civil court. On January 23, 2007, the Nakano District Court rendered its final decision based on the evidence presented by Hiroki's family. The court reached a groundbreaking conclusion. Hiroki had been murdered. In a historic ruling, his family was awarded 35 million yen, approximately 291,770 USD, in compensation from the insurance company. This case marked the first time in Japan that a civil court ruled a homicide, yet the official investigation was closed with the determination that Hiroki had taken his own life. To this day, this paradox lingers, leaving the circumstances surrounding this mysterious death unresolved. Over the years, Hiroki's parents and friends have relentlessly sought justice, their voices echoing in the silence left by the authorities. Meanwhile, Nozomi Momoi's family seemed to vanish from public view, possibly succumbing to the social stigma tied to their daughter's profession. 22 years after Nozomi's tragic case, another tragedy unfolded in the land of the rising sun, striking a painful chord once again.